Today, we're going to be covering the downfall of an esteemed creator, Destiny Ball Clutcher, DariusIRL. Larius has apparently been rejected by Trailer Wifey, has been rejected by Grace Thorpe, a woman who is known for inbreeding, a woman that has been known for not cleaning herself, a woman that's been known for having no hallway because it's been covered in smut. You're rejected by this chick. Darius, you are a 26-year-old man with a lot of clout, with thousands of viewers at one point yesterday, but was watched by those same 4,000 people crying publicly in front of his mom's porch because I got rejected by Grace Thorpe. Imagine that. Imagine that. And I had a live stream with him yesterday even where I vouched for the guy. I was nice. He came in there. He's like, oh, you're so handsome. You look like an anime character, Lalo. Of course, that's all true. Of course. Right? You even do the little eyes. Now I'm a little bit Filipino. The point is, though, is that the guy got completely destroyed. And it's too bad. And you handed Ethan Ralph the biggest W I've ever seen this month. It's awesome to watch. Ethan Ralph just laughing at him. Pack watch. Rest in piss bozo. Not even the mom could have sympathy. When you're not getting sympathy from a 50-year-old zanned out woman like Courtney Thorpe, it is over for you, bud. And Darius, I was nice to him this whole time, egging him on, telling him to lick her armpit because I'm a sick son of a gun. And so right now you're looking at somebody in Darius that is just completely destroyed. The credibility is over. I joined the Discord just to kind of spy a little bit, play triple agent, and really ascertain what's going on with the guy's psychology. He's over here saying that he won't stream today because he's depressed, which is inevitably a result of getting rejected from a girl that wouldn't even be in the top 3 of most attractive girlfriends I've ever had. And you're going to be saying that you got rejected. It's just utterly appalling. And the thing is that he apparently, and I won't name my sources because if you knew how I know some of the stuff I'm going to tell you, which is only the tip of the iceberg, you would literally want to kill yourself because you'd be like, what the hell? How come he didn't tell us this? Anyway, the point still stands, though, that I've been told by an important source that apparently he was picked up in the airport 3 to 4 hours late. Not only that, but he's so stupid that it took 40 minutes just for him to find the RV of Grace. Just imagine that. 40 minutes around an airport terminal to find a girl in the car. In an RV nonetheless. It's not like she hid in some like Honda Civic or something from 2015 that you couldn't really tell apart. It is realistically one of the most obvious vehicles she could have possibly gone in. I don't know if you wanted her in a Hummer or like in a pink Bugatti so that you could find the car easier, but the idiot went through 5 different buildings to try to find this chick. And again, simped so hard. He simped so hard, in fact, that he got her like a cigarette, lotion. Dude, if it were up to me and I met Grace, I wouldn't get her. I would give her nothing. And so anyway, the point is that he's simping hardcore. And it's pathetic. He does his live stream in front of like a couple other girls from like the Red Pill sphere or whatever. And apparently he tries to raise up Grace for hours at like 10 p.m., 7 p.m. my time. Okay, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard, Rhode Island, Miami time, where they're at. He spent hours trying to rizz her up. Meanwhile, his black boyfriend was trying to massage his shoulders, trying to get him to rizz up some 20-year-old girl barely. And it didn't work, of course. And so you have a girl that is as dry as the Arizona heat or the Sahara Desert or a camel's under eye. Anyway, the point is that he's over here not doing anything in regards to Riz. And keep in mind that the guy is 26 years old. If I were 26, which is going to happen in like 2030, I would be the Don Julio. I would be killing it out there, okay? Right now, you're looking at the beginnings of something great. But right now, you're looking at someone who can out-Riz, of course, a guy as old, millennial ass. What's his name? What? DariusIRL. So the idea is right now that Darius cannot riz his way out of a wet paper bag. He really sent for her on this live stream in front of several hundred people, like at least 800 people were watching this. And during that, his soon-to-be fiance, which was what he was saying, apparently she got a restraining order or something, some police contempt at 10 p.m. And then she was supposed to pick him up at the airport at 9 a.m. So there you go. There was 11 hours for her to go to sleep and then pick up Darius. What happens? She's 3 hours late to pick up Darius because she's up. What does she say to Darius? She says, oh, I got the police report. And she insinuates that she got it like at 3 in the morning, which is completely unrealistic. And she obviously lied about that. I can't tell you what she was doing in that time, but let it be known that Darius, you'd be seething. Like instead of malding, you'd be crying and crying doubly. Like it'd be bloody tears. It'd be something that a vampire would get a hard on from. So it'd be really embarrassing. And I'll leave it to your imagination what she could have been doing. Anyway, the point is that Darius was a guy who really was a sweetheart. He came over to her house, roach infested, whatever. Her refrigerator is disgusting. Like literally, I could be an alcoholic, 40 years old, and my fridge would still have more stuff than what Grace had in there. It was just appalling. She goes to this apartment. This apartment has 2 floors or something. One floor is like the basement. Like I would totally not want to get stuck there. And then there's an idea right now where there's 2 bedrooms in the upstairs. One is Grace's bedroom and one's Ben Thorpe's, which is the father, right? Weird dynamic, by the way. I won't get into it right now. But the point is that all of a sudden you have somebody who's over there. You would think like, oh, I'm going to sleep with the daughter, right? Not in the basement, or take the daughter to the basement and you can have sex in the musk. But no, he gets locked into the basement, locked in there. It's over. The guy, 12 hours, no contact. And keep in mind, he was live streaming himself asleep. Grace didn't go to sleep when he went to sleep. She was up for a while. I wonder why. I'll leave it up to you, Darius. Anyway, the point is that if you can connect the dots, you can kind of see what I'm insinuating here. That she just does not really have this interest in him. And again, he spent like $500 to fly over there to spend, the week there. And he gets completely BTFO. And moreover, I don't even need to show the stream. I don't want to embarrass him. I don't want to edit the video either because I don't know how to do that. But the point is that the guy completely embarrasses himself, self-flagellates. He's drinking alone on the porch, which right off the bat is never a good thing. Never drink by yourself for the, I've never done that. Don't do it. But the point is that you ought not do it because you're going to start crying. You'll be like, oh my God, I really love this bitch. Never be caught crying for a trailer wifey. And then guess what? Her brother, John, red pills Darius on the Grace question in regards to the allegations about incest and stuff, and he still is interested. And then she literally burns his stuff that he left in the dad's house, burns it on camera on the kill stream, which I was very pleased with, and I was very satisfied with myself. But of course, Darius was the butt of that joke. And what's so tragic is that even after that, he's simping in the DMs to Grace, calling her love. And moreover, he's like, we can leave this. We can leave the family. It can be the 2 of us making content in Phoenix. You fucking loser. And then moreover, let's get into this other point. You're also talking about somebody who, in particular, was saying that, oh no, I still love Grace. It's not her fault. It's her dad's fault. Like, if you, at this point, don't know that Grace is completely in bed with her father, or at least like 80% of the way there, then you're just a fool. And it's one thing if you know Grace is like a nasty woman, which, okay, fair enough. Oh, and you still kind of like her because she's kind of hot and also kind of like a dynamic personality. You're kind of into that crazy thing. It's like she's like the pit bulls of the pit bull basically of the dog breeds. But no, you're saying, oh no, she's a pretty little Yorkie. No, she's not your Yorkie, Darius. And you still got fucking rejected anyway. You kissed up to her. You denied the allegations for a while there. Like, oh, I don't know any of the lore. Wow, this family's pretty nice. And you got destroyed anyway, bud. It's over for you, Darius. It doesn't look so good. And then when you're looking at certain cases, you break down the risk. And if you look at the chat of like the 4,000 people that were watching him, all of them 14-year-olds, by the way, all these 09 gamers all of a sudden popping up in chat saying, oh, wow, W-Riz, they're in the field together. She's operating off of 2 hours of sleep because she was probably busy talking to a real man. Hypothetically, because, it's just speculation. But the point is that all of a sudden you have somebody like Darius who's in the fields with her. And you would think, like, obviously, the whole pretext is that they're going to have an e-marriage for content. And so you'd at the very least be touching her and stuff like that. At least that's, if it were up to me and I were attracted to Grace, hypothetically, I would be doing that. But instead, the guy's going out here on a limb and is touching her like, oh, can I touch your thigh? Oh, really? Can I touch your hand? Okay. And then Grace gives him a little bit of pity pussy, like a little crumb, a little smidgen, and she's like, okay, you can hold my hand. And now they're like holding fingers or something. The guy has a riz of a 12-year-old, okay? I got further along with women at 6 years old, 5 even. And she was in the first grade, I was in a kindergarten. So, I had more action going on 15 years ago than this guy. And it's like kind of unfortunate at that point. He didn't even get to kiss her, really embarrassing. He was planning out all these different trips. Nothing materialized of that. He was begging for money out of Dono chat. It's just really pathetic. And it seems to me as if he's just really an archetypal simp. The archetype of a good guy who got taken advantage of by some crazy chick. And I'm all here for it. If you're 26, you don't really have an excuse to be manipulated by a 20-year-old. You're a freaking fool. I would understand if you, for whatever reason, were like some 16-year-old that went to Rhode Island to see your 20-year-old girlfriend, which is like really dumb. But I could see why Grace would manipulate that person. But if you're dumb enough to get manipulated by Grace at 26, I think you're a fool. And if you're getting outcompeted and completely bested and being laughed at by Ethan, Oliver, Ralph of all people, or Lalo over here. It seems kind of like a depressing thing, honestly. And so when you know that Destiny is watching his little butt buddy, Darius, who likes to massage his balls, monkey paw in effect, anyway, the point is that he's watching you, Darius, completely fall apart. And it's too bad. It's just depressing to that extent. And then he's also saying on the stream with the mom, Courtney, crying alone, drinking beer, by the way, being like, oh my God, this reminds me of my own family dynamic. It's so depressing. I hate it here. Then leave, bud. But no. Oh, I need to simp for Grace. Really? How little action are you getting in Arizona, where he's from, where you're simping for Grace? It seems somewhat ironic. And it'd be one thing if it's like, okay, I like Grace and she likes me back, but no, it's one-sided. And you should have known that from the beginning. And then there was a reference he made towards the end of the stream where when he was being sent off to the basement, he was like, well, if the cameras were off, how would the relationship play out? And she was like, no, this is all for fun. So she's not even really touching you as it is, and she's telling you that she's just doing it for the show. It is over. It's a wrap. And he was still texting her. Dude, I would have tried to leave the basement somehow and just leave and just don't call her. Waste money on the flight back. Just book another one and don't even go to the other one that you had for the 30th where you're supposed to leave or something. Just give up on that, because realistically speaking, I just don't honestly think that it's worth the pursuit. Now, Darius is obviously physically challenged. He's like 5'7". Obviously not as good looking as I am, and that's like not even close. Anyway, the point is that, you ought to have better standards, even if you can't, like, fake it until you make it, bud. At least. And it's not even the height thing, even though, yeah, Grace is 5'10", whatever. I feel like if I were that height, I'd still survive. And you can realistically survive at 5'9". Like, I'm not really one to talk here. So the point is that it's not really that you're cursed with a bad body, Darius, is more so that your personality is severely lacking. You act completely immature. You do not have Riz to save your life. And again, you're 26, so figure it the hell out, okay? And he's referring to the fact that he, like, dates 18-year-olds off of Tinder that go to ASU. Look, I'm not calling you weird for that, but I'm also saying, like, is that the only thing you can attract? Is girls out of high school that don't know Riz if it were to hit them with a metal baseball bat, which would be fun to watch, mind you. But the point is that clearly he doesn't know what he's doing as an adult. He has the behavioral stratums. He has the behavior aptitude of a guy who's 10 years younger, and it just doesn't really make sense. And so I feel kind of bad for him. Complete loser. Got completely felted. He should have honestly called into the kill stream because it was a fun stream to watch personally. So I give Ethan Ralph credit for that because that was hilarious. But moreover, because you had to prove your masculinity there. But instead, you were just crying, seething on your phone while 4,000 of your fans and other A-logs were watching you crying and seething because you couldn't get some 5 to 7 out of 10 20-year-old girl that hadn't even showered for a week to like you back. And so it's not looking so good, Darius, I'll tell you what. So as of right now, what the resume is in regards to the whole narrative structure is that right now, Darius' coin is plummeting like a rock. It looks like you look at Grace, you look at her trajectory, it's looking really good. It's a very nasty trajectory. She's not the most clean girl, but I mean, would you still smash, guys? Comment down below. Would you smash? Comment down below if you would smash Grace Thorpe. Anyway, the point is that right now it's a pretty crappy family she's in, and she participates in that willingly, so that's her problem. That's all her fault. But the point is that he got rejected by a nasty girl like that. What makes you think he's going to make it in the real world? Even Destiny wouldn't go for Grace, and Destiny is a very perverted person. And if Destiny's watching this by the grace of God, debate me, because I would destroy you. I'm like 15 years younger than you, a lot smarter. I would freaking destroy you while you play Factorio, you little millennial white guy. It's over for you, Destiny. Debate me now on literally anything. I would destroy you. But anyways, thank you all for watching the video. Comment down below what you thought. And Darius, Pack Watch by Bozo. I don't personally have anything against him. I just think it's utterly hilarious. And if you were like an 18-year-old, I would feel bad for you, Darius, but you're 26 and you haven't gotten together yet. And by the way, what's going to follow you for your entire life is not anything immoral that you did in the past, because I don't know about that. But what I do know is that you're going to say, whenever I see Darius, I'll say, rejected by Grace Thorpe. Rejected by daddy fucker Grace Thorpe. Wow. Okay, anyways, bye-bye.